What's going on, guys? It's the Bigs Podcast, episode number 143. And today we're going to break down the week that was in week number 14. With me tonight from Denver, Colorado, Jason Ashby. Jason, the next time I see you might be in New York City, sir.
In the Bronx, sir. We're gonna be viewing our Mets and the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. I am pumped, man. It's gonna be 2 weeks away, and I'm ready for that.
We are certainly going to be diving into week 14, but the thing I do want to get out right now is that week 15 is the long week. You only have 10 ads to use this week, so don't go crazy on a Monday trying to put a lineup together. Your boy didn't even put anybody in the lineup today because there is no games for my guys. I literally have nobody in the lineup. So you've got 10 ads for what's going to be 14 days of action with 4 days off for the All-Star break. The Home Run Derby is on Monday, the All-Star game's on Tuesday, and then Wednesday and Thursday, MLB is off. So Friday it starts again, and you'll have Friday, Saturday, Sunday to make up whatever ground you need because, man, we've got ourselves a leader and a number 2 team this week. We're going to talk about them, and we are going to talk about first Mike Haber taking on Cody Piatt in what I have to say is one of the matchups of the week, if not the premier matchup of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. And I said to you off air, when it's you and Ben going head to head, that's the matchup of the week. But this right here, this is like heavyweight right here.
Yes, this was an absolute slugfest. I loved watching it all week long. It started 13-8 going in, ends up being 13-7 on the winning side for Mike Haber yet again. On Sunday, triples. Mike had a 1 triple advantage. Cody got the Sunday triple, but Cody had the on base percentage advantage by 1 tick, and Mike took that. So again, 13-8 going in, 13-7 coming out. Close categories. Mike wins by the homer, 4 ticks on the on base percentage, 2 wins, 2 losses, and 2 walks by a pitcher. Cody wins by 2 RBIs and 3 walks by a batter. They tied in triples. For Mike on his bench, he went 12 for 53. That is a 226 batting average, 6 runs, 3 doubles, 2 homers, 6 RBIs, a walk, 14 strikeouts, and 2 errors. The runs certainly play. If he's perfect, he gets all 6 in to tie that. The one that really counts is the 6 RBIs because those he lost by 2. And the fact that he had 2 home runs on the bench, I'm really disappointed that he couldn't make that happen and make this a bigger win for him.
Yeah, and 3 of those RBIs came on Sunday, so like it was really just one play on Sunday that would have flipped that category. But hey, he walked away with a win, so
get that win and keep increasing this lead. It's like 7 games over his brother right now, and then 21 games to me in 3rd place. So this is really a historic season for Mike. He took over 1st place about 8 weeks ago and hasn't let up. Is putting a stranglehold on the bye this year yet again in defense of his championship. His moves this week, he drops Tim Herron for Adrian Hauser, gave him a bad relief appearance. He then dropped Davis Daniel on a waiver claim for Chad Green, who's now apparently going to be the closer in Toronto. Thoughts on Chad Green? Did you put in a waiver claim?
I did. And yeah, it's weird. I feel like the Toronto bullpen is kind of a mess right now, with Romano being out. Yimi Garcia is coming back, or is back. I don't know who's closing in that bullpen. So I wasn't so sure about Chad Green, but yeah, had to put in a claim for him.
Yeah. And you know what? If he gets a couple of saves on Mike's team, good for him. He got 6 of them this week. So
and one of them was from Chad Green.
I see. Adrian Hauser gets dropped and Zach Neto gets dropped for Randy Rodriguez, who had a really bad relief appearance. Randy Rodriguez dropped for Carmen Majensky and Justin Robeski. I don't friggin' know how to pronounce these 2 dudes' names.
I actually texted him. I said, this is fantasy baseball, not fantasy Scrabble, right?
Like this is unnecessary. These guys were added and were bluffs anyway, so he doesn't even play them on Sunday. And then he adds John Gray. Good luck with that guy. He's had a really rough last 4 starts, so he's going up against the Angels. I understand that, so good luck with that. His MVP this week is going to be Christian Walker. 407 batting average with a 467 on base, 9 runs, a double, 5 bombs, 11 RBIs, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. On the season, this guy is an absolute machine. 268 average, 22 homers, 64 RBIs, and 58 runs scored. He's on pace for 30 and 100.
And he's not an all-star.
He's not an all-star, but Piatt is?
Yep.
I don't know that I like that.
Because MLB has the rule that every team has to be represented, and they were not going to not bring Alonso in. So, I mean, you have to figure that somebody's going to bow out and Walker will get named. But the fact that he wasn't named already is a crime.
Yeah, that's pretty disappointing.
Yeah,
it's pretty disappointing for the NL champions, like their defense of their season.
Yeah.
Disappointing. Heimer Candelario is going to be the least valuable hitter this week. 208 average with a 240 on base percentage, a run, a double, an RBI, a steal, a walk, and 8 strikeouts. Although I have a note here that Aaron Judge had a pretty pedestrian week as well. I was waiting on Sunday night for him to hit a 2-run bomb just to tie the category, and I was like, it would make that much sense, but he did not.
Even because he made the last out, didn't he, against Jansen?
He struck out.
Like that would have been the moment, but nope.
Nope, not gonna happen. Nate Eovaldi is the Cy Young this week. 7 innings, a win, nothing earned, 6 strikeouts, and an 0.14 WHIP. The Cy Young goes to Tim Herron and Randy Rodriguez. Both those guys were pretty bad, but otherwise a really nice pitching week for Mike. A 2.72 ERA, a 1.01 WHIP.
Yeah, and he benched all of his pitching on Sunday, so he just shut it down, which made a whole lot of sense. But it could have been a lot different if he didn't do that.
For Cody on his bench this week, he goes 4 for 18. That's a 222 batting average, 3 runs, a double, 2 bombs, 3 RBIs, and 8 strikeouts. So 2 bombs all are the only thing that play there. It's Murphy and Schneemann each with a home run on Tuesday, with Corbin and Julio and Diaz all 0 for 4. So there's some spots to get them in, but I don't know that you're playing that over the guys that you've traded for or your number 1 overall pick.
Right. Especially Schneemann. You're not really playing him over Corbin Carroll or Julio Rodriguez. So, yeah. I mean, maybe you put him in instead of Ryan O'Hearn, who, did have a good day, but it's tough.
Yeah, it is. It's tough. He's got an all-star lineup, and he's got a few extra guys, and those few extra guys are just going to have to ride the pine for the all-stars, because this is the team that Cody's got, and I don't see him changing too much more. This is an all-star lineup. For his moves this week, he started off with the big trade for Julio Rodriguez and Tariq Skubal. Julio, the day he got him, 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Tariq Skubal, 6 innings, a bomb, a walk, 7 strikeouts, a 450, and an 083 in Minnesota. He drops Luis Medina for Xander Bogaerts on the IL and adds Daniel Schneemann. We talked about him. He had a home run on the bench. This is the point I would ask Ben what team Daniel Schneemann plays for, but that's a whole different matter. Jacob Young gets dropped for Michael Tonkin, who had a clean relief appearance. Chris Stratton gets dropped for Gregory Soto, who had a bad relief appearance. Angel Zerpa gets dropped for Cionel Perez. He never came into the baseball game, so he must have upset Brandon Hyde this week. Will Smith, the reliever, gets dropped for Adrian Morejon, an inning, a strikeout, and a relief appearance. Gregory Soto gets dropped for Mitch Spence. 6 innings, a loss, 2 bombs, a walk, 5 strikeouts, a 6, and a 133 against Baltimore. And then on Sunday, the 3 drops were Adrian Morejon, Cionel Perez, and Michael Tonkin. For Lars Nootbaar on the IL, John Singleton 1 for 4 with a run and a strikeout, and Cole Sands after the bell. The MVP this week is, of course, Gunnar Henderson. Who else would it be but the starting shortstop in the All-Star game? 360 with a 385 on base percentage, 3 runs, a double, a triple, a homer, 3 RBIs, a steal, a walk, 6 strikeouts, and an error. And of course, the triple comes on Sunday to tie the category. How
Yep.
clutch.
Yeah. Yeah. He literally got one of everything. There's not a single zero in his line this week.
No doubt. The least valuable hitter, unfortunately, Pete Alonso, 214 with a 214 on base, 2 runs, a double, a homer, 2 RBIs, 8 strikeouts, and an error. Not a great line for Pete this week.
And he's an all-star.
He is. He is. Tariq Skubal is, in fact, the Cy Young, so good job getting him this week. 13 innings, a win, 20 strikeouts with only a bomb, a walk, 277 ERA, 062 whip. The Cy Young is Chris Stratton, no longer on the team, and he had a 2025 ERA this week. These guys are in the hunt, no doubt. I think Mike's locked up a playoff spot as far as that's concerned, but I don't think the bye is locked just yet. We have to see how the rest of the season shakes out. We got 8 weeks left, but if he keeps playing like this, he's going to be a semifinalist without question.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I he's gonna keep fighting. He wants that bye, so he's gonna do what he does, and but the teams that are nipping at his heels here are there are some really strong teams right behind him coming up. Not to mention his brother right behind him. So it's gonna be a dogfight this last half of the season. I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, this last third of the season, we've got 7 weeks left now, and Mike's got Mike's got a really nice cushion here to play with. It's not something I see him making any kind of trades on. He's on cruise control at this point. For Cody, he's got this new look to this team with all of these, big names that are sort of underperforming. It's a very buy low type of team. Pete Alonso, Julio Rodriguez, Corbin Carroll, all underperforming versus where they were taken in the draft. I don't know what the last 7 weeks has got for him, but this is where he really needs to buckle down and make things happen.
Yeah, and he's running into some injury issues. Jordan Alvarez has a knee issue. Julio Rodriguez, he pinch hit, but he had a quad thing. I think Carlos Correa was banged up earlier this week. So like, he's got some guys who are banged up, but like also he's got Verlander on the IL. He's got Bryan Wu on the IL that he picked up. He's got Bogarts he just picked up for the IL. So like he's got guys that are going to be coming back and just adding more firepower to this already crazy roster.
This is a crazy team. It's a dark horse to win a championship this year. He's just got to finish this fight and get into the playoffs and then see where he ends up. I wish him all the luck in the world as a rookie in this league. This is really it, even if it's a failed season and he ends up 7th somehow, it's a really impressive season. It's a really impressive stamp on a rookie year going, "Hey, I belong here."
Yeah, yeah. I don't think there's a question that he belongs here.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next matchup, my friend. Let's talk about Mike Sherman taking an 11-8 loss to the other Haber brother, Josh, securing his second place lately with win after win. This is 11-8. It came in 11-9 on Sunday. Only runs changed. Mike had a 1-run advantage, and Josh tied that. Josh had the batting average advantage by 3 ticks, and it looks like Mike took that. And Mike had a walk by a pitcher advantage through some starters, got himself enough walks to lose that category. So again, 11-9 coming in, 11-8 going out. Sherman's close categories, he wins by the triple, 2 RBIs, 3 ticks on the batting average, and 2 strikeouts by a pitcher. Josh wins by the steal, a win, 2 saves, a home run given up by a pitcher, and a walk by a pitcher. They tied in runs and home runs. For Josh on his bench, it's a 7 for 24. That's a 292 batting average with 4 runs, 2 doubles, a homer, 2 RBIs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Looks like the homer would have played, and certainly the 4 runs would have played. He just gets one of those into his lineup. It's Alex Verdugo on Saturday with 2 runs and a home run. Ian Happ over 3 in left field. Like, that's the difference.
Yeah, but Happ has been hot and Verdugo has been terrible. So,
Yeah.
that's baseball, right?
Yeah, spoiler alert, Ian Happ's going to be the player of the week. So,
Yep, there
you
you
know.
go.
For his moves this week, he drops Joe Mantiply for Jake Bowers, 0-3 with a strikeout. Drops Adrian Hauser for Jacob Barnes, who never came in. He drops Jacob Barnes for Calvin Fauché, who never came in. He dropped Jake Bowers for Ian Happ on a waiver claim, 1-3 with 2 runs, a double, a walk, and a strikeout. Congratulations on landing that guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Calvin,
I was surprised to see him even hit the wire, and I absolutely did put a claim in for him, but
Mhm.
Josh beat me to him. Actually, I think me and Josh were the only ones to put in a claim on him, which
I think
I also
so.
found surprising.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about it, but I have a Schwarber clogging up my left field for right now, so I don't need a second left fielder when I've already got George Springer and Anthony Santander in right field when everyone's healthy.
Yep.
So it wouldn't have made sense for me. I don't know about anybody else.
Yeah. I was just surprised.
Mm-hmm. He also dropped Calvin Fauché for Dean Kramer. 5 innings, a win, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, nothing earned in an 080 whip against Seattle. Very nice start there. He drops Kyle Higashioka for Gabriel Moreno, 2-4 with a steal and a strikeout. Drops Justin Slayton for Michael Lorenzen, 5 innings, a win, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts, a 120 against Tampa. Dropped Chris Martin for Will Vest for a clean relief appearance. Dropped Michael Lorenzen for Pedro Avila, who had an okay relief appearance. And then dropped Will Vest and Ryan Nelson for Ryan Nelson, who was benched and then got dropped outright after the bell.
Yep.
Good job, Josh.
And he was really
The
good too.
MVP,
Ryan Nelson pitched really well too.
he did.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Ian Happ is the MVP this week, 500 with a 579 on base percentage, 4 runs, 2 doubles, 2 homers, 8 RBIs, 3 walks, and a strikeout. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what you want from your waiver claim.
Yeah. This guy now just earned himself left field for Josh for at least another week.
And the
I mean,
namesake.
yeah. This was a really nice week from this guy. Justin Turner is, in fact, the least valuable hitter. He hit 100 this week. 308 on base, a run, an RBI, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts.
But you also had a
This,
kid, so that's something.
hey, congratulations. Congratulations, Mr. Turner. The Cy Young is Dean Kramer. We talked about him. The Cy Yuck goes to Paul Sewald, who was absolutely atrocious this week. If I could find him, here he is. Oh, 2/3 of an inning, 2 losses, 2 bombs, a walk, 2 strikeouts, a 67.50 ERA, and a 9
Oh,
whip across 2 relief appearances.
what happened?
He got bloated up.
Yeah, he did. Oof.
Absolutely just blown up by the Dodgers and the Padres, respectively.
Wow. That's rough.
Yeah, I think the second one from the Padres was a Manny Machado walk off.
Oh, was that crazy game, right? Where it was like
Mm-hmm.
they scored like all in like 9 runs in the ninth inning or something like that. Yeah, that was
Yeah, something ridiculous like that.
yeah.
It was a crazy game. For Sherman on his bench this week, he goes 9 for 37. That's a 243 batting average with 3 runs, 2 doubles, a triple, a homer, 5 RBIs, a steal, a walk, and 11 strikeouts. So the runs would have played, the triple would have, or no, the triple wouldn't have played, but the homer would have played, the steal would have played. Yeah, that would
Yeah.
have been much nicer to get
Yeah.
than what happened here. It was Jake Fraley with the triple, the 3 RBIs, and a stolen base on the bench
Oof.
on what looks like Thursday. Only 3 moves this week. He drops Graham Ashcraft and then picks him back up for a bench start. He then drops Jake Berger for Spencer Arrighetti, who was also benched. And Graham Ashcraft got himself a trip to AAA this morning. So congratulations, buddy. The MVP this week is going to be Spencer Steer. 273 average, 360 on base, 6 runs, 2 doubles, 3 homers, 6 RBIs, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter goes to Ezekiel Tovar, who didn't get a hit, didn't get on base, and struck out 7 times this week.
Oof. Ew.
Yeah, that's a bad week. The Cy Young goes to young Spencer Schwellenbach. 6 innings, a win, 6 strikeouts, a 150 and a 117. The Cy Yuck to Luis Severino, 6 innings, a loss, 3 bombs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, a 10.50, and a 183. I remember that game. That was the terrible game against Pittsburgh where we gave up 2 grand slams in a
but
game.
it was like 1 inning, like it was like killed him, like because they were doing fine, and then Pirates scored 14 unanswered runs.
Yeah. Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
They scored 2 touchdowns on us, hit 2 grand slams. I mean, what a terrible, terrible game.
Yeah.
Josh solidifying his spot in the number 2 seat, 7 games back of his brother right now, and a good 14 up on me. So he feels pretty safe to be a playoff team as well this year. I think he's on a mission, and he's definitely the guy Ben and I are most rooting for other than ourselves. We want to see Josh win a championship here.
Yeah, I think that would be an awesome story. Him or Cody, I think, but like I know Josh has been struggling, has been fighting for a long, long, long time. So he's got the pieces to do it, and we know he's as savvy as a manager as you can get. So there's no reason why he can't with this roster that he's got together.
This roster looks so incredibly familiar. Yandy Diaz, Corey Seager, Mookie Betts.
Paul Sewald.
It's a Paul Sewald. Yeah, a lot of dudes from my last year's semifinal team is here. I'll be interested to see what he does here going forward. But this is a really solid team. Hap, Duran, and Soler in the outfield. Adalis Garcia has been absolutely dreadful so far this year, but maybe he's going to get a second half surge here. 215 average with 16 homers and 7 RBI, or I'm sorry, 7 stolen bases. You'd expect more from that guy, but when you've got these supplemental pieces, Matt Chapman, I mean, Willie Castro is 5 position eligible and is still a starter on the Twins. This is a good team. It's a really good team.
Yeah, and I mean, Mookie Betts is just kind of sitting there. Hopefully he'll be back. At some point, it's like that'll be huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Corey Seager, yeah, this is a solid team. The pitching is there's really no holes in it. You got a great bullpen. Yeah, this is a scary team.
Yeah, this is definitely a championship level type team, and this is somebody that we've got to watch out for the rest of this year. All right, let's move on to the next matchup, which is yours, my friend. We're going to talk about your matchup with Adam, a 10-8 loss, and you've renamed your team Curb Stomped. Care to discuss?
Yeah, George Kirby. He keeps pitching well enough to win, and then the bullpen just shits the bed for him, or the offense, and he walks away with no decision. But he's been pitching very well for me.
Good. And the trade seems to be working out, as you also landed Francisco Lindor in that trade, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
And
nice.
they got rid of Matt Olson and O'Neill Cruz, who have been very disappointing, and who Casas is giving up on. So, that I feel good about that.
That's a W. That's a W. Even if you're sitting at the bottom of the standings, you've got something to be proud of this year.
Absolutely.
For the matchup this week, it was 12-7 in favor of Adam coming in, so it's 10-8 coming out. You make a little bit of lemonade again here. On Sunday, looks like Adam had a walk advantage, and you were able to tie that. Adam also had the 1 tick on the whip advantage, and you took that category. So again, 12-7 coming in, 10-8 going out. Close categories. Jason, you won by 5 ticks on the whip, and that's about it. Because you only won 1 offensive category in stolen bases, but a lot of the pitching was the story here for you. Adam wins by 2 doubles and a triple. You guys tied in walks by a batter and errors. For Adam on his bench this week, he goes 7 for 26 with a run, a double, 2 RBIs, a steal, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. The walk is the only thing that matters, and it came all the way back on Tuesday on a 2 for 4 performance from somebody. For his moves this week, he started off by dropping Cole Irvin for Carson Spires, who was bad against Detroit. He dropped Cade Povich, more on that guy next episode. For Jose Soriano, who was bad in Oakland. He dropped Dylan Moore for Max Schumann 0 for 1 with an RBI and a walk. He dropped Jose Soriano for Bryan Honig, who was okay as an opener against Chicago. He dropped that guy for DJ Hers, who was bad against St. Louis, and dropped Carson Spires for Emerson Hancock, who was okay against Toronto. His MVP this week, Freeman, Rooker, Reynolds, Green. He hit 324 with a 402 on base percentage, hit 13 bombs, and had 39 RBIs. He had a
hit the
really
shit out of the ball. Like there was just no stopping him. I couldn't. There's nothing I could do.
No. Bryan Reynolds is going to get it for me, 360 with a 385, 4 runs, 3 bombs, 8 RBIs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. The 8 bombs are absolutely ridiculous this week from that guy. But Brent Rooker had 3 homers and 7 RBIs and hit 500. So,
yeah,
insane week from this guy. The least valuable hitter, Bo Bichette, 130 with a 192 on base, 2 runs, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, a steal, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, and an error. Bo Bichette is a very disappointing. Another guy who's disappointing this year, 226, 4 homers, and 5 steals.
Yeah,
I've said it for a while. He's not good.
That's like replacement level.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
that's bad.
That's really bad. Really, really bad. And he might get traded this year, so we'll see.
Yeah.
The Cy Young this week for him is Nick Pivetta and Grayson Rodriguez. Nick Pivetta, 7 innings, a shutout ball with 10 strikeouts. And Grayson Rodriguez, 12 and a third with 2 wins and 16 strikeouts. That's a hell of a guy to go up against and still take away most of the pitching categories, Jason.
Yeah, yeah. I know. You know, Grayson he threw him on Sunday, and he was really good, but luckily it didn't really matter because Cutter Crawford was even better for me.
Yeah. The Cy Young is Hunter Harvey, 16.20 ERA, a 2.40 WHIP, 4 relief appearances. He takes a loss. He allowed runs in 3 out of those 4 relief appearances. Not good from that guy.
Nope.
Jason, for you on your bench this week, my friend, you went a good 6 for 26. That's 4 runs. That's a 231 batting average with 4 runs, 2 doubles, a homer, 7 RBIs, 2 steals, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. Not as bad this week as last week, but the 2 doubles would have played. The 2 walks certainly would have played.
And it was Sunday. I was going back and forth because I knew I had Tyler O'Neill and David Hamilton for the Sunday night game. So I was like, okay. And he had nobody in the Sunday night game. So I was feeling pretty good that maybe something falls, you know how Sundays are, something falls my way. And so I knew I was going to play them. And it was between Garrett Mitchell or Christopher Morel or Richie Palacios. Who's going to get the double? Who's going to get me the doubles? Because I was down by 2 going in. And Lindor got me one earlier in the day. And so I was trying to figure out which one to start. And Christopher Morel hadn't doubled in like 3 months. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to go with him. Garrett Mitchell facing the Dodgers, like I just didn't like it. I went with Palacios. Morel and Mitchell both doubled. That would have tied the category.
Damn.
And Garrett Mitchell also drew a walk, which would have flipped that category. So
Yikes.
yeah. Sunday was not good that way.
It was not a great Sunday for you, unfortunately. Your moves this week, you dropped Casey Mize, Logan Allen, and Hunter Goodman on Monday for Michael Toglia, 0-4 with a walk, and Bo Naylor, 0-3 with a walk and a strikeout. Michael Toglia, huh?
I keep going, every time I pick him up, he's awful. And then whenever I drop him, he goes off. He starts hitting home runs and stealing bases, and it's like he hates me or something.
Yeah. Well, you dropped him the next day for Jose Butto, which I thought was a really smart idea. 2 innings, a win, a walk, a strikeout, nothing earned in a relief appearance. Dropped him the next day for Miles Michaelis, who was good against Pittsburgh. Dropped Kerry Carpenter for Garrett Mitchell, 0-3 with an RBI and a walk. You dropped Giovanni Gallegos for Zach Geloff, 0-3 with a run, a steal, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Dropped Miles Michaelis for Drew Thorpe, who was good against Miami. Good start there. Dropped Zach Geloff for Colt Keith, who went off 2-for-5, 2 runs, 2 homers, 3 RBIs, and a strikeout. Dropped Luis Matos for Richie Palacios, 0-for-1 with 3 walks. Very nice.
He's
Very
another
nice.
one though that like I pick him up, and yeah, the 3 walks were nice, but like when I drop him, he starts hitting, and he starts playing, and then when I pick him up, I get nothing.
Nothing. Nothing. Mm. And finally, finished out the week by dropping Logan Allen. Your MVP this week is James Wood. I love this kid. I think he's going to be awesome for the
Yeah, he
Nationals.
looks fun, and he's just fun to watch.
Yeah. 320 average with a 452 on base, 4 runs, a double, a homer, 6 RBIs, a steal, 6 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Though it could be Colt Keith. He had 2 homers. His 2 homer day really carries him for
Yeah,
the week. The least valuable hitter, either Morel or Hamilton. I'm going to go with Morel here. 182 with a 250 on base, 6 strikeouts, and an error. Gross.
yeah,
Gross.
yeah. I don't know. I I've been struggling with him because like I know the potential is there for him to go on a run and like hit some bombs, but yeah, he's not even hitting 200 anymore. So
No,
yeah,
he's not great, but he's quad eligible. So,
that too. Yeah, yeah. So, but like every time they play him at third base, I cringe because he can't play third base.
mm. And are they playing him a lot there?
Yeah. It's and
Uh,
next year he's only gonna have third base unless they decide to change things up in the second half. He's only played third base this year.
oh
So
wow,
he'll lose all that eligibility.
that sucks. That's terrible. The Cy Young this week is Cutter Crawford, 13 innings, 2 wins, a bomb, 11 strikeouts, an 069 and an 054. You said he was better for you. That was a really great start on Sunday night, too.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, like I saw that all the pitching was pretty much locked up except for Whip. And when he threw Grayson Rodriguez, Whip had flipped back to him by like, a thousandth of a percent or something like that. So I was like, okay, I'll throw Crawford and hope that he gives me 5 innings of 1 run ball and maybe, that knocks the Whip down. And he did more than that. So
Yeah, he was beautiful on Sunday night.
yeah.
Chris Bassett is the least valuable hitter, 5 innings, a loss, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, a 720 and a 240. My friend, your season might be done, but you're going to play your ass off and do things like this and cost guys categories that they really need in the
Yep.
stretch run. This is one of those. This is one of those losses that you look at and go, "That's not a bad loss, dude."
No, no, it would have been a much better not bad loss have I not been 15th, but like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like this is one that you could, especially since I was down 13-7 at one point. I'll happily walk away with an 8-10 loss.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the season did not turn out the way, but I kind of knew coming out of the draft I didn't feel good. And it kind of plays. So but yeah, I'm here to the very end, and I feel bad for any playoff teams
We
who want
need,
to face me.
yeah, he's going to be a dangerous out every single week. And as for Adam, he's in this fight, but he's got some work to do. He's just on the outside looking in ninth, and he's really got to get himself back to 500 and then really decide what he's got to do. He doesn't have a whole lot of time left. He's got probably a really interesting schedule. One of those things that you just got to look at your schedule, see where you can win. And Adam, I know you're listening. I hope the best for you. I don't know that this is going to end as we had hoped for
He's
him.
got Mike Haber here for the long week.
Yikes. That could be the nail in the coffin, honestly.
Yeah,
Like it
I mean he
really
gets
could be
Brian
the end
Lebo
of the
coming out of
season.
it, but then it's Henry and Ben. Like it's a tough road right there.
He's going to have to beat Henry and Ben if he doesn't beat Mike Haber this week, and if he takes a big loss to Mike Haber, that might be it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that might just be it.
yeah.
Speaking of guys who believe that their seasons are over, and we have no reason to believe that they're not, it is Jimmy Dunlap and Bryan Lebo as our final matchup this week. Uh, getting a 12-9 win in favor of Jimmy this week. It came in 12-8. It comes out 12-9. The only thing that changes, Bryan takes home runs by 1. It was tied going in. So Lebo in close categories wins by the triple, the home run, 2 saves, and 3 home runs given up by a pitcher. Jimmy wins by 3 wins and 4 relief appearances, and they did not tie in anything. For Jimmy on his bench, he goes 9 for 31. That's a 290 batting average, 6 runs, 4 homers, 12 RBIs, 4 walks, 11 strikeouts. He had a Hoskins grand slam on the bench. He had a Hoskins home run the next day on the bench. It was a bad week for Jimmy, but he still walks away with the win.
Yeah.
His moves this week, he dropped Patrick Corbin for Ryan Pepio, who was okay against Kansas City. He drops Kyle Hendricks for Kevin Kelly, who had a bad relief appearance. Drops Yanni Chirinos for Yuki Matsui, who had a good relief appearance. And he drops Kyle Freeland for JT Shagwa, who had an okay relief appearance. He drops Ryan Pepio for Brooks Lee, 1 for 2 with an RBI and a walk. That kid's going to be good for Minnesota, isn't he?
Yeah. And like Royce Lewis gets hurt, and all the talks is that Brooks Lee is coming up, and Josh even texted me. He was like, "Do you think you should go get him?" I was like, "Yeah, but I didn't know how much they were gonna play him." I have Lindor. He was only shortstop eligible at the time. I already had Lindor. Like I didn't need another shortstop only guy. Sure enough, they're playing him, and he's hitting the cover off the ball. So good for Jimmy to have that guy.
Yeah. He drops John Kenzie Noel for Lennon Sosa, 1 for 4. He drops Lennon Sosa for Yariel Rodriguez, who was great in Seattle. And finishes out the week dropping Scott Alexander for Garrett Clevenger, who was bad in his relief appearance. His MVP this week is Brooks Lee and just about everybody else. He hit 306 with a 372 on base this week. But Brooks Lee for the week, 467, 471 on base, 3 runs, a double, a homer, 5 RBIs, a walk, and a strikeout. What an amazing first week from this kid.
Yeah. And Nolan Gorman had a great week, and Jimmy benched him on Tuesday. He benched a homer and 4 RBIs out of that guy. So imagine if he had started him, that would have been a whole different week.
Yeah, same with Rhys Hoskins, man. I told you, he benched a grand slam from that guy and a home run the very next day. Like, just one of those things. He's married to Cody Bellinger at first base, so
yeah,
go with that, I guess. The least valuable hitter, Patrick Bailey, 071 with a 176 on base, 2 runs, an RBI, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. The Cy Young, who might be starting the All-Star game, is Chris Sale, 6 innings, a win, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, a 150 and a 083. This dude has 12 wins.
Yeah. He's pitching like it's 2014 or something. Like,
he's amazing.
271
with an 091. Yeah. Well, all that it takes is a move to Atlanta, I guess. Yet again, Alex Anthopoulos gets another great piece to this rotation. 127 strikeouts over 100 innings. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
And good on Jimmy for drafting this dude. Where did he draft him anyway?
What was it? It was like in the 11th round.
11th round, 161st overall. Good pick, Jim. Good job.
Yeah. I'll be curious to see where he goes next year.
Yeah, man. Especially considering like he's on the Braves next year, right?
Yeah, he's locked up. He's locked up.
Okay. So he's not going anywhere. It'll be interesting to see where people draft him. I would think he'd make a jump from the 11th round.
I would think so.
Yeah.
But are you chasing this, or are you afraid of the years before? So
exactly.
Yeah.
You're afraid of injury with this guy.
Yeah.
Christopher Sanchez is the Cy Young this week. 4 innings, a loss, a bomb, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, a 15.75 middle ages type ERA, and a 250 WHIP. For Mr. Lebo on his bench this week, he goes 1 for 22.
Yeah.
Amazing. 0.45 batting average, a run, a double, 2 RBIs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. None of that plays. For his moves this week, he adds Dylan Lee for a loss in a relief appearance. It looks like that might have been in extra innings because he doesn't have an earned run. He drops Jake Rogers for Hunter Renfroe, 0 for 3 with a strikeout, and Shea Langoliers, 1 for 4 with a run and 2 strikeouts. He drops Hunter Renfroe for Chris Taylor, 0 for 3 with a walk and 2 strikeouts, and Stuart Fairchild, 1 for 3 with a solo bomb and a strikeout. He drops Chris Taylor, Stuart Fairchild, and Shea Langoliers for Masataka Yoshida, 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, and Brett Sullivan, 0 for 4. He drops Brett Sullivan for Pedro Paez, 1 for 4 with an RBI. He drops Elvis Peguero for Ethan Roberts, who was good in his relief appearance, and finishes it off by adding Miles Michaelis for this week. His most valuable hitter this week goes to Mason Wynn. Surprising name here. 370 with a 452 on base, 6 runs, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, a steal, 4 walks, and only 2 strikeouts. Elly De La Cruz did have a triple and 3 steals for what it's worth, but he struck out 10 times.
And hit 182.
Gross.
This is what you're gonna get with this guy. It's all or nothing.
He's an exciting player to watch. I don't know that I'd like to own him. That's what I'm kind of figuring out from this year.
Yeah, he would make me way too nervous to own.
Yeah. Nick Gonzalez is the least valuable hitter this week, 182 with a 240 on base, 2 runs, a double, 3 RBIs, a walk, and 6 strikeouts with an error. The Cy Young goes to Hunter Green. Again, we talked about how this guy being the number 3 on his team is just so nice. 7 innings, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, nothing earned, and an 0.71 whip. The Cy Young goes to Lance Lynn with his 33.75 ERA and a 4.88 whip. And the namesake of Bryan's team, Hook, Lynn, and Sinker. Disappointing seasons out of these guys. I'm sure Jimmy is disappointed being 20 under and this late in the season. He says, turn out the lights.
Yeah, I guess that says it all. I mean,
losing Acuna is the biggest thing for Jimmy.
Yeah.
Like, losing Acuna changes this entire team.
Yeah. Because there's really nobody else that's like, I mean, he hit really well this week. Like, Wyatt Langford hit well, Luis Robert hit well, Nolan Gorman we talked about, like Brendan Rodgers hit 348. Like, so like everybody hit, but yeah, it's just not the same without Acuna.
Yeah, and there wasn't any power to that. Like, he only hit 4 homers in all of those hits. 64 hits on the week, only 4 homers.
Yeah. And
again, benching Rhys Hoskins for 2 of them. 14 doubles was great. That'll play every single week, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Jason, let's get your managers of the week this week, and I'll do mine when I get with Ben tomorrow. So who's your number 3 manager of the week this week, my friend?
Yeah. Let's see. I'm still figuring out my order. I have the 3. I think my number 3 is gonna go to you, sir, for taking down Ben. I mean, we talked about it. Like, yeah, this week's matchup, premier matchup was Ben and Cody, but Joe and Ben on the card is always, a main event, and you took that down, and now you're in 3rd place. Like, you are just chomping up the standings. So, got to give you credit.
I have made a move up the standings 1 spot each of the last 6 weeks. So I've gone from 9th to 3rd. I feel really confident. I just hate this team. I don't like having Bryce Harper and Trey Turner and Kyle Schwarber on the team and having to root for the Phillies. I hate it.
Yeah, but, well, I mean, you knew that from draft day that's how it was.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. But I will say this much: this is a season where I have only made 1 trade. It was for the closer in Josh Hader and his setup man in Ryan Presley. This is a season where I've had the opportunity to make other deals and they haven't come to fruition, or I've been, sort of going, okay, I'll back off of this. I don't want to break this up. This is a season that I've needed to be patient and just trust my own process. Hopefully it works. I'm in good shape. I feel pretty good about it. I'm feeling like I might be a playoff team, another couple of wins under my belt, and I will be. And I'm coming. I'm coming for another championship, boys. I'm wearing my jersey I bought after I won my 2020 championship. It is number 4. I'd love to start wearing David Wright's number. So that would be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, you're right there. So there's no reason why you couldn't.
Who you got at number 2?
All right, number 2 is going to go to Mike Haber for taking down that premier matchup against Cody and just really solidifying definitely his playoff spot, probably a bye. And kind of I feel like, putting the rookie down a little bit was just kind of a, like showing who's the big dog in this yard. And
yeah, no doubt.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, reminder exactly who Mike Haber is. Hi, I'm Mike. I run this league right now.
Yeah, like welcome
Here's
to the
your loss.
bigs. Welcome to the
Here's your
bigs,
loss.
but get off.
Yeah. And who you got at number one?
Costas, man, what the hell happened with that? I can't wait to hear you break that down with Ben because and all week it wasn't like something changed on Sunday. Like he was up big all week on Bobby Russo.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and look, I guess it comes down to Brenton Doyle. Like, the whole trade was the talk of the town last week, and it's worked out for Costas so far. So got to give him credit.
Between Brenton Doyle, Jesse Winker, Cabert Ruiz, Freddie Fermin, like this was Christian Yelich went off. It
Yeah,
was an absolutely insane week for Costas. I completely agree with you giving him the number one spot, beating Bobby Russo and putting Bobby in a bit of a pickle here. He's only 6 over, and he needs to really pick up the pace if he wants to make the playoffs this year.
yeah. He's tied right with Henry, and I feel like him and Henry have kind of been like in lockstep with each other for a couple of
Mm-hmm.
weeks now. So that's gonna be a fun battle to watch.
No doubt, it's going to be a lot of fun for me to play Bobby this week, and we'll see where they end up as they go on their runs. Jason, thanks so much for being with me tonight, my friend.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a highlight of the week talking baseball and talking the big. So, happy to do it. And yeah, like I said, in 2 weeks we'll be in New York City.
We'll be in New York. We'll be watching Mets Yankees in Yankee Stadium. We're going to be rocking the orange and blue in Yankee Stadium, watching it live. Guys, thanks so much for being here. Thanks for making this league what it is. We couldn't do it without you. Until next time, guys, it's been real, it's been fun, and it is always real fun in the bigs. We'll see you next time.